Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part 5. That's right, part 5 of the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show, with thanks to our good friends at Vilic Law. And we're saving the best to last. It's the women's show where we get to talk NPLW, the BWPL, and Cap 1. So we've got the big guns out this evening. We've got Anthony Costa, coach, technical director, cleaner of toilets, does everything at the Virginia United. Anthony, welcome.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to see you again. You're half the man you used to be, right?
Something like that.
Wow.
Lost a lot of weight. Congratulations. We've got Liz Ridley. Liz, great to see you again. Of course, team manager out at Ipswich City.
Female football coordinator as well.
And cleaner of toilets, I'll bet.
Probably. Cooker of burgers.
And our mystery guest this evening is Gianni Morosini, who is the senior coach at UQ. Good evening, Gianni.
Hi. Hey, Darren. Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me on.
All right. This man is a dentist, so we can't show you his face. Let's get into it. So let's start with the NPLW, which is probably the one that I'm take the most interest in. So let's have a look at last weekend's results. And the big, huge result was Southwest Queensland Thunder. 2-1 win over Capalaba, who were flying high at the time. Massive result. You will have seen from the Southwest Queensland show that we did on Tuesday night, just how rapt the Thunder were getting that victory. They've put in so much work in their squad and developing players, and they got their reward with a really important victory for them. So it's quite interesting to see if the Thunder can continue that good form into the remainder of the season. Of course, the Lions had a win over the Gap. Logan Lightning had a crucial victory over South United. That could have been a banana skin for them there. And Mitchelton had a win over Easts, who showed so much promise coming out of the break. And they've gone down to Mitchelton. So an important win there for the Mustangs. All right, now let's have a quick look at the ladder. What this all means is that Lions are back on top and they've got a 4-point gap. They do have played an extra game. For Logan, who are now second on 30 points. Capalaba also on 30, but they're just behind on goal difference. With Gold Coast United leading a few weeks ago, now in 4th place on 28. Eastern Suburbs and the Gap are now on 22. So it's a race in 4 for the title. Still, anyone's to collect. Gold Coast United, of course, do have games in hand. So they can, if they win their make-up games, they will be back on top. All right. Let's have a look at this weekend's fixtures. Anthony, is there anything that you wanted to add at this point?
No, you're doing a great job.
Actually, Darren, can I just say, I actually did watch the highlights from the Thunder game, mostly because I take a little bit of interest because I'm from Toowoomba. And yeah, like I guess at full time, I haven't heard your interviews with any of the Southwest Queensland people on that podcast, but they were wrapped after the game. I was super excited. So it obviously meant a lot, and they've probably been working towards that. And yeah, like for the club, I think it's great. And I do think like women's football up there could be super, super strong. They've got, plenty of good schools, who I know nothing about them, but I'm assuming they have good football programs, and that might sort of, over the years start to feed into that club. And, a pretty big area of people to pull from as well. So I think, great to see them get that win, and hopefully they can keep going.
For sure. The Thunder this weekend come down the range and take on Mitchelton at Terralba, and if they can win that game, they'll jump Mitchelton into 9th, possibly even 8th place, depending on how other results go. QAS hosting South United, Moreton Bay hosting the Gap, but the big match is on Sunday. Capalaba hosting Gold Coast United, and Lions play Logan Lightning. some really big games on that Sunday, which was, of course, the top four playing against each other. So we will take a look at those matches with interest, and the latter could have a completely different complexion by next week. All right, let's unleash them. Let's talk Brisbane Women's Premier League. Let's start, Liz.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going last.
On the weekend.
Okay. Yeah, let's look. Yeah, let's not.
What happened?
I don't know.
Did I miss something?
Yeah. I think we all did. I don't know. Look, you can't win them all. Got to lose one.
It was against Annerley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, we played them a couple of weekends ago, and they were playing two midfielders at centre back.
Yeah.
They obviously don't have the squad that they had, 3 or 4 years ago, but my goodness, super well organised. We scored first against them, and they just, it was just keep going. They just kept pushing and putting pressure on us. Yeah.
You couldn't get midfield.
Yep. So yeah, I must admit, I was surprised by the result, but then thinking about what they did against us and how well they played, without being super flashy, they've obviously got some talent up front. But yeah, I think they just super well organised and a tight group.
Gianni, while you're on fire there at the moment, you had a 3-1 victory over Grange Thistle.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. And super happy to take 3 points, and especially playing away to a team we knew very little about. I hadn't seen them play, and obviously coming up from Cap 1 last year, I think. Yeah, look, and they're at the bottom of the table at the moment, and so you try not to think about that before the game. But look, in the first half, they were 1-0 up after the first half, and a similar thing to Annerley, actually. They just kept pressing and pressing and pressing, and just never gave us time to settle, to sort of do the things we like to do, to try and move the ball around, use our athleticism a little bit, and they just didn't give us that chance. Took advantage of some, just like little mistakes, nothing huge, but they took their chances and got ahead. I think they have a youngish team, maybe kind of ran out of legs after an hour. And we sort of probably had most of the possession after that, and were able to score some nice goals. Mitchell's first goal was really nice. Like, I got to watch the highlights yesterday, and I was like, oh, that was actually really nice. I don't remember it during the game. Yeah, I think I was too nervous during the game to really appreciate it. But yeah, watching our highlights, it was really nice. So I was happy for the girls there, and the third goal was a beautiful delivery again, and a great header. So look, I think we had plenty of chances in the second half, and we were happy with the result.
Coomera cruised to a 3-0 win over AC Carina. Peninsula Power got back to winning ways with a 2-0 win over Broadbeach. And Anthony, you had a loss against the Lakes, the Jekyll and Hyde Lakes.
Yes, we did. Look, the last 3 weeks we've just haven't been putting balls in the back of the net. I think every game we've played in the last 3 weeks, we keep stats, and first half, at least, we're probably doubling the opposition in terms of chances. We don't kill the game off, and we have opportunities too. And, at this level, teams are that good that if you leave them in the game for long enough, they'll hurt you. And, UQ scored 2 really good goals against us. Annerley just kept pushing, as we know they can. And the Lakes didn't have a single shot from inside the box all night. We had 7 shots from inside the 6-yard box. But when you got Steph Mayhew got on the ball, she's put, I think one of their goals was a 35-yard top bin screamer. We gave them too much time on the ball. Second half, we created chance after chance, but Gemma's a good goalkeeper and they had a lot of desperation. And, they got the win and good on them.
Anthony, what's it like playing against Gemma? The two of you were thick as thieves when you were both at Annalee. Is it weird?
It is a bit, but I enjoy the challenge. She's a very good goalkeeper. She knows the way I like to coach, so I've got to try and mix things up a little bit, but I don't want to mix things up too much. So it's a bit of a balancing act. But unfortunately, because there's that natural rivalry or unspoken rivalry, I guess, she always seems to have bloody blinders against me. So I'm always happy.
I think we all feel that way, Anthony.
Yeah, I was when she was my goalkeeper, but now I don't know if I like it anymore.
Actually, you made a point there. Sorry, Darren, but just about second halves. It's probably one thing I've noticed this year. Like this is first year back coaching Prems, but you very rarely come out against the same team second half. Like a lot of teams are really good at adjusting. They see what you do and then, make those few little adjustments. So it's actually been super fun and quite challenging though. But yeah, it's been really enjoyable. I
think just on that, I think part of that might be because of it's interchange and not substitution. So what I'm finding is I know I like the tactical side of the game a lot, and I know, last year when my Virginia side probably wasn't as strong as this year's team. They were very young and inexperienced, so tactically we would get up over teams because of that, and teams wouldn't be able to adjust until maybe half time, and even then, if they got it wrong, then we could get through the game. Whereas now, I don't make that many subs, but I'm noticing a lot of teams are making a couple of changes early in the game. And it's almost like they're trying to see what works, what doesn't work, so that at half time, it gives them the chance. Because I didn't go to the Ipswich Annalee game, but I was following it on Sportsbet. And Annalee obviously scored 2 goals in the first 20 minutes, I believe. And then straight away I saw, Ipswich make a change or two, and then Ipswich were pretty much on top for the rest of the game. But they were down 2-0, and I think I like it in a way, but I also don't like it because I like my teams to be really well prepared during the week. And that's just the way I coach. I'm very detailed. And then come the weekend, teams can work out the game plan within 15 minutes and they can make changes to affect the game straight away.
Agree.
I think for those players who weren't working as hard during COVID physically, it doesn't really matter because they get tired, they can just come off. Whereas I know my girls were really motivated and they worked really hard physically, so they're looking pretty fit. But when we played Annalee, and I think Donna Smith, the goalkeeper, she's the first to admit she would have wasted 25 minutes of that game, and she slowed the game down as much as she could because she knew that we played at a high tempo. And we had 18 shots to 1 in the first half.
Oh, they did it in our game too.
But I think that experience, to be honest, even though Donna's not a goalkeeper, she's an experienced footballer. And that experience shone through. Whereas my girls, they're a great bunch of girls. They do work hard. They play some really good football. I'm really proud to say that I coach them. But there's not quite that experience as some of those other clubs. So our game management isn't as good. Whereas Annalee, even though they're probably not as strong as we were a few years ago, they've got a lot of experience in the team. Coomera, Ipswich, there's experience there. And it's not a surprise that they're probably your top 3 teams this year.
Anthony, how many interchanges are you making per game?
I think the first game I might have made 1. I think I'm averaging 1 or 2. UQ I made maybe 3, but we were kind of trying to push for the win late there. I'm still kind of. I don't think I've made more than 3 or 4 in a game, but maybe I need to change that. It's obviously hasn't worked the last couple of weeks, so But
what about you, Gianni?
Yeah, it's week to week. Like I haven't put out the same 11 in sort of 2 weeks in a row yet, which no one probably has. But it changes week to week. Like so, some weeks. I'll be playing girls who haven't played a lot of prems, and so I'll have 2 of them in one position and just rotate them in 30-minute blocks, just so that they still have the legs and sort of can get through it. Which it's gaming the system, but I guess we have it this year.
Yep.
And it's the same. Often you can do it with one of your forwards, or like we play with the two up front most of the time. So you just have 3 players for those 2 positions, and you can sort of just rotate them through to keep their legs fresh. I haven't done that a whole lot, but most weeks, like ideally, you wouldn't want to make more than 3 or 4 subs. But yeah, I've probably been making more like 5 and 6.
What about you, Liz?
Not that many players. Like you usually only have 13. So.
No, I'm pretty sure Archie's pretty much doing a similar thing, seeing how the game flow's going first before he makes the changes. So he's made a couple where he's made the changes in the first half. There's a game where he didn't even make a change in the first half. So I think it just depends on how the game's going and the game flow is flowing. It's like Costa said, the ability to interchange now has affected the game. And you can look at the first 15, 20 minutes and go, right, oh shit, they're doing this. We need to counteract that, which is pretty much exactly what we did at AC Carina. So, it allows that what we went out there, the game plan we had wasn't working, quick change, bang, got a goal straight away. So, yeah, the interchange is affecting it. I do agree with Costa. But back to what Gianni said too, half the games I watch, I go, shit, what happened in that game? You get so enthralled in the game.
Yeah.
What actually went on. Yeah. You sit there and say to me, oh, what happened? I don't know, actually. I just watched. I was too involved.
Right. So after the weekend's results, Peninsula Power are back on top of the league with 21 points.
Sorry.
They have played 2 extra games than all the other teams, though. Ipswich
No, they've got a bye. They've got a bye to come.
So they've only got 1 left, yeah.
They've only got 1, not 2.
Yeah. So City are on 18, Coomera and UQ on 16, and Lee 1 point further back on 15.
Told you it was going to come down to 4 and
yeah, just with Power, I'm not sure if anyone heard. Apparently there was an injury in that game. Do you guys know anything about it?
Which game?
The Peninsula Power Broadbeach.
Yeah, I have heard Brett Whitfield's on a knee. So I don't know how bad her knee is, but I saw she was I believe in hospital in a knee thing.
Oh my goodness.
That's a big loss for Power, and as much as I don't like playing against Power, playing against Brett. It's definitely a loss for the competition if she's out for too long. Because
we live for that.
Oh, it's an awesome challenge,
Yeah.
You've got to be on your game against her. So hopefully it's not too bad of an injury.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it might do them well. They might be lucky they've got the weekend off this weekend with the bye.
Possibly, yeah.
They can rest them all up, ready for the last game.
You've just reminded me, we need to look at this weekend's fixtures before we move on.
Of course, sir.
Without the bye. Rabina are hosting the Lakes. And then there's UQFC versus Ipswich City Bulls.
So, Gianni, do you want to give me any insight into how UQ are doing their format on the weekend?
Yeah, look, it's actually going to be really interesting. I can tell you everything you want to know. Because the 2 teams play identical. So it's going to be this. It's really been. I'm so looking forward to it because we'll basically be a mirror of each other, and so I could just see just man marked all over the field, or player marked. Sorry, I should say, and just like a whole heap of one-on-ones. So hopefully that's how it turns out. It's just a big futsal match across the park.
Oh God, no, we'll be exhausted in that.
So
yeah, but no, looking forward to it. We're very, very excited.
I think it'll be the game of the round.
Yeah.
If you win the game, Gianni, how do you think you'll do it?
Yeah, look, I can't see us having any success by sort of just trying to sit back and contain the team that's above us on the table, which is tempting. So yeah, look, I think the way we win it is press hard, press for as long as we can, like we do in all games. Try and move the ball quickly, not be predictable, I guess, with how we move the ball forward. So, we don't like to sort of always go through the midfield or always go wide or always go left or right. Never give the team, whoever we're playing, like the same look twice. And then, utilize the fact that we've got some girls that can score goals and try and score a couple, maybe more.
Liz, are you taking notes at the moment?
Sure. No, my pen's here. Look.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. We've had a lot of people come watch our games.
I gave him an early mark from trying to for this, so I don't know what his tactics are for the weekend. Unfortunately, sorry, I can't even give you any insight this week.
That's all right. I'll message Chloe. She can tell me.
Oh, right, okay. She's on. Did you hear she's playing reserves now?
Oh no!
That was your fault.
We've got some other tasty encounters this weekend. Annalee are playing Coomera. Anthony, I reckon that's going to be a really interesting game.
Yeah, I think so. I think Annalee are on fire at the moment. They're playing good football. They just got so much speed up front. Their striker a couple of years ago was in the Canberra United W League squad. So this is her first year back for a few years, and I think she's starting to find her feet now. What I've heard is she could be a top quality striker. So, on Annalee's field, which is quite big, you never know. I do think Annalee might be missing a key player. I better not say who. I don't know how public knowledge it is. I've only just found out. If this person is missing, it will change the game, I think, because she's a key player. But look, Coomera, they're stacked. They got talent up to their eyeballs, and Annalee just keep fighting. So I think it'll be end to end. I think both teams will try to be scoring goals. So hopefully it's like a 5-5 draw or something. That'll be a good game to watch.
Well, realistically, between the two, us and UQ, Annalee and Coomera, everyone's fighting for up the top.
Yeah.
One of the interesting games at the other end of the table is AC Carina up against Broadbeach United. Both these teams will be earmarking this match as a must-win if they do just get themselves off the bottom of the ladder. Yeah. Of course, AC Carina are rock bottom at the minute. So they'll see that as a big opportunity to move themselves out of the danger zone. Costa, Virginia up against Grange Thistle. Yep. Discuss.
Yeah, look, again, the only thing I've seen of Grange is the footage of Grange versus UQ from the weekend. So they seem to have picked up a couple of players that they didn't have at the start of the year. There's a few Virginia girls in that squad. They're one of their strikers or wingers. She was in our under-16 girls team last year, and she's scoring a couple of goals for them. So I'm really glad that she's trying to step up with her football. So I'm glad for her. Hopefully she doesn't play that well this weekend. But look, I've made a couple of changes this week. I've got an opportunity where I want to reward a few resis because our reserves are sitting top of reserves. So I want to reward a few of them and, try and get some form back into some of the Premier League girls because we've got 2 massive games coming up in the next 2 weeks. But those games don't matter if we don't win on Sunday. So we're looking forward to the game, and I'm really hoping for a really positive response from the girls.
Excellent. Now, the fact that this is a women's only show gives us an opportunity to have a look at the... Sorry, Liz?
The reserve grade ladder is just as tight as the top side ladder, if you think. Look at it. It's running first and fifth. So Peninsula Power on 20, Virginia 19, Coomera, Ipswich City, Annalee.
Liz, unfortunately, with your connection, we've missed a lot of what you said there. The reserve table's tight. That's very tight.
That's the gist of it.
All right. Let's move on now to the Capital League One, which is another ding-dong battle. And the fact that this is a women's only show gives us the opportunity to discuss this competition, which we haven't done in prior weeks. So let's have a quick look at the ladder here. We've got North Brisbane on top of the table. Albany Creek just 2 points behind. And then there's three teams, Kangaroo Point Rovers, which is Easts, Olympic and Pine Hills, all on 16. Taringa, another point back on 15 points. So 5 points between the top six sides. Have any of you been out to see any of these games? Do you have any opinions on the teams? I've caught a few of the highlights of Albany Creek, and it looks like Jamie Sankson has improved the side from last year. So I like what I've seen from them. I think they're a good chance of going up.
Yeah, I know Albany Creek have at least two girls from Virginia from the last couple of years. And they're handy players. They're pretty handy players. You know, one's scoring goals, the other one's in the midfield, who's got a fantastic free kick, fantastic corner, you know, and great on the ball. So, yeah, they're a good side. I think Capital League's definitely improving overall. But I think Toowong, they're doing pretty well. I know they're not quite up the top yet, up the top of the ladder, but I think they've only lost one game. They've just got a couple of draws where they obviously haven't quite been able to take the points. But if they can do that in the back end of the year, you never know. Toowong might be right up there.
Yeah, there's a couple of girls. So one sort of ex-UQ girl on that team who's a very good player in midfield. Bago. And we had a couple at preseason training as well, who are also very good. There's a Dutch girl who's over there now, and she was a great sort of centre forward. So certainly some good players. I haven't really seen them play, but we played Olympic in pre-season. I'm not sure if that was like their full team or anything, but look, they were very well drilled, and I think I know you guys probably know more than me, but City and Olympic particularly had eyes on NPL in the women's in the future. So they're probably sort of trying to put together young, talented squads who'll only get better over the next few years.
Yeah, with Olympic, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Ross Aloisi is one of their coaching staff members. So,
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I think he's technically the reserves coach, but I don't know. I think that might be a thingy to push for NPLW, but no, they've both got young squads. Olympic have quite a good side. I'm actually surprised they're probably not higher up the ladder, but the gap between Capital League and Premier League, I think, is still reasonable. At least from Capital League to middle to top end of Premier League, still quite a big gap. But I do think it is improving, and it's really good to see.
Even the reserve grade comp this year's improved a lot.
Yeah.
Like last year, there's a definite difference between your top sides and your reserve grades. This year, there's some really good talent in those reserve grade teams out there.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The big games from the Cap 1 this weekend is Albany Creek up against Olympic and North Brisbane against Pine Hills. Those results will be crucial in determining the makeup of the ladder and potentially the teams that will go up. All right, let's leave it there. It's been a long show, but hopefully an interesting one. Anthony, Gianni, thank you so much for your company this evening. It's been great to have you on board.
Thanks, mate.
And hopefully
thank you.
My pleasure. Hopefully we'll get you back in future weeks and keep getting those insights from you guys.
Sounds good, bud.
Thanks, everyone.
Good luck, everyone.
See you around. Have a good weekend.
See you, Costa. I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah. See you, Liz. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
And if you guys have watched all 5 episodes of the preview show this week, I suggest you reconsider your life choices. But this is the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show. We've done all 5 parts with thanks to Vilic Law. I'm Darren Lutton. We'll see you next week. Enjoy your football this weekend.